Vice President Harris delivered an incredible speech last night at the NAACP Image Awards, where she received the Chairman's Award. As I mentioned earlier, she went on to give an inspiring and hopeful address, taking the opportunity to call out our co-presidents, Donald Trump and Elon Musk. If you've missed her as much as I have, you'll feel much better after watching it. She held nothing back. It was great to have her back, and we'll discuss that. She delivered a speech perfectly suited for such a challenging moment. Before we continue, I'd like to ask you to quickly hit the subscribe button if you enjoy our channel and leave a like on this video. It would mean a lot to me and goes a long way. Donald Trump hasn't yet posted an angry response to her speech, but I expect he will, and once you hear what President Harris had to say, you'll understand why. I want to thank Chairman Russell for his kind words and his steadfast leadership. To Devin, I am so proud of you, and it is truly wonderful to see you. When I look at you, I know the future of our country is bright. As a lifelong member of the NAACP, I deeply appreciate the tireless advocacy and years of support from everyone here. Receiving this award holds special meaning for me. Many of you may know that I grew up inspired by the work of the NAACP and by those who fought for justice, equality, and opportunity. Their example shaped my decision to pursue a life of public service, always striving to live by the words of W.E.B. Du Bois, a distinguished NAACP founder, who once said, "It is today that our best work can be done, and not some future day or future year." That same sense of urgency must guide us today. As the saying goes, eternal vigilance is the price of liberty, the price we must pay by staying alert, seeking truth, and actively participating in shaping America's future. This organization was founded at a time when our nation was struggling with greed, bitterness, and hatred. Those who built the NAACP, and those who have carried its legacy forward, had no illusions about the forces they were up against or how difficult the road ahead would be. Many look at this moment in history and feel its weight. They see the flames on the horizon, the rising waters in our cities, and the shadows gathering over our democracy, and they ask, what do we do now? But we already know the answer, because we have done it before, and we will do it again. We use our power, we organize, we mobilize, we educate, we advocate, because our power has never come from having an easy path. Our strength flows from our faith in God, faith in each other, and our refusal to surrender to cynicism and destruction, not because it is easy, but because it is necessary, not because victory is guaranteed, but because the fight is worth it. And while we have no illusions about the challenges we face in this chapter of American history, this chapter will not be written solely by whoever occupies the Oval Office or by the wealthiest among us. The American story will be written by the people. It's gut-wrenching to watch, not just Donald Trump, but also Elon Musk, tear apart the very fabric of our nation day after day. Every statement they make, every action they take, feels like another nail in the coffin of stability, decency, and progress. For what feels like an eternity of chaos, weeks have stretched into months as they dismantle systems meant to serve the people, leaving lives, jobs, and sanity hanging by a thread. And then there's Vice President Kamala Harris, a beacon of hope in last summer's election, a reminder of what public service should truly look like. She doesn't fight for the wealthiest few or the most powerful corporations. She fights for us, for everyday Americans struggling to keep their heads above water. The contrast couldn't be starker. On one side, two men obsessed with power and profit. On the other, a leader driven by compassion and principle. But let's face it, America made a colossal mistake this time around. Not you, not me, certainly not Vice President Harris. No, the blame lies with those who prioritize division over unity, greed over justice. It's disheartening, yes. But here's the truth, Harris knows better than anyone that the road ahead won't be easy. It will demand everything we've got, our voices, our courage, our relentless determination to fight back against the forces tearing us apart. One person leading that fight with unmatched passion is Senator Bernie Sanders. He's been crisscrossing the country on his anti-oligarchy tour, calling out the billionaire class and demanding accountability from those who have hijacked our democracy. His words are a rallying cry, a call to arms for anyone who believes in fairness, equality, and human dignity. Let me play you a clip from his speech yesterday. it's nothing short of inspiring the ruling class. They don't become billionaires because they're dummies. They're very smart. They work very hard. And one of the things they do, which is very powerful and effective, is send a message to the American people: we own the media. We own the political process. We own the company you work for. We've got the power, you don't. And there's nothing you can do about it. But that's exactly what they want us to believe. That we're powerless. That we should just accept it. It's not true. If we do not allow Trump and his allies to divide us by race, religion, birthplace, or sexual orientation, if we stand together, we win. Because at the end of the day, 99% is a hell of a lot bigger than 1%. This kind of bootlicking rhetoric from billionaires is exactly why we're in this mess. While opportunists like Musk and Trump manipulate the system to fill their own pockets, leaders like Vice President Harris and Senator Sanders are setting the tone for what America should truly stand for. They represent the voices of everyday Americans, the ones who work tirelessly, pay their taxes, and still struggle to make ends meet, and yet, instead of lifting them up, figures like Musk and Trump continue to trample over the very people they claim to serve. Then there's Donald Trump, spouting nonsense like it's gospel. His words might sound bold, but beneath the bluster lies a man who thrives on chaos, division, and self-serving agendas. Meanwhile, Harris and Sanders remind us of the values that truly matter: justice, equality, and empathy. It's heartbreaking to see such stark contrasts play out in real time, especially when the stakes couldn't be higher. It's infuriating to watch oligarchs run roughshod over our country while genuine public servants fight tooth and nail to protect the people. But here's the thing: silence won't fix this. We need to speak out, call them out, and demand accountability. Because if we don't, history will remember us, not as bystanders, but as enablers of a system gone horribly wrong. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And if you agree that corporate greed and unchecked power are destroying this country, it's time to take action.